guys. Alright, here's your guys' review on graphing logs and probability of logs, March 23rd. Alright, so we have this, y is equal to log base b of x minus h minus k. So essentially, you guys, the h value, this affects your guys' x coordinates by adding or subtracting, and this affects your guys' y coordinates by either adding or subtracting. And this is your guys' base, which is that one. So, in order to graph, you always start with your two critical values, 1 comma 0 and b comma 1. So, let's begin to just work out and flesh out this example, okay? So, first we start with our critical values of the parent function, okay? So, first we're going to write 1 comma 0, b comma 1. Our b value in this problem is 6. So 1 comma 0, and this is going to be 6 comma 1. Okay, now let's look at our transformations. So this goes right 1, and this goes down 5. So this affects your coordinates by, since it goes right 1, you guys, that means you're adding 1 to the x coordinates, and when you guys are going down 5, you're subtracting by the y coordinates by 5. Now remember, if this is minus, then that means it's going right. If this is plus, that means it's going left. If this is minus, that means it's going down, and if this is plus, that means it's going up. Alright, so now you guys can make your new coordinates. 1 plus 1 is 2, 0 minus 5 is negative 5, 6 plus 1 is 7, 1 minus 5 is 4. So this is our new coordinates after we did a transformation on the parent function. Now remember, you also have to find your asymptote. So to find vertical asymptote by setting the parentheses equal to 0. So on the inside we have x minus 1, so x minus 1 is equal to 0, so that means the vertical asymptote is x is equal to 1. So this is essentially what we need. So now let's begin to graph. Alright, so x is equal to 1, which is right here. This is your guys' vertical asymptote. And let's plot the points of 2 comma negative 5 and 7 comma 1. So 2 comma negative 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right there. And 7 comma 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 up. And that was my bad. If you guys take a look, that should be a negative 4. Oof. I was wondering why these are so bad. So sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. There's your guys' graph. Sorry. So there's your guys' graph. So now, well, if you guys went from here to here, that's definitely not gonna, it's not gonna be that. So you guys just have to go from the bottom and then just up. Follow the graph along the vertical asymptote, not touching right, cannot touch the vertical asymptote, and then make your curve like right at this point. And then just launch it. So there's your guys' graph. Now you just, all you have to do for the homework assignment too is just find your domain and range. So domain is as it's going to the left. So right, as you guys put your finger on this curve and you follow along to the left, you'll notice that just follow the curve, it's going to stop at and approach the vertical asymptote of 1 from the right hand side. So it's approaching 1 from the right hand side, and then when your x value goes to infinity, so follow your curve and go to the right, follow along, and you'll see that it just goes infinitely to the right for infinity. And domain range, you guys, for all log functions are negative infinity to so if you guys just follow those critical values, use your transformations to make your new coordinates and the vertical asymptote, you should be able to graph your logs. Alright, so there's that. Now let's go to product rule and quotient rule. So remember, if you guys have a log and there's multiplication in between them, then that means you add the two logs separately based off of the two being multiplied on the inside. Log base of the two things being divided inside the parentheses, then it's just the top numerator minus the denominator. Log base b of m minus log base b of n. So for ours, we are going to simply just be condensing it, which means for a lot of these problems, you guys, we are going from right to left. So we're going to be given the right side, and then now we have to condense it to make it look like the left side. And we have to solve, okay? So we have this one. So follow along, right? There's a plus sign in between the two logs with the same base. There's a plus sign here, so that means you must use product rule. This m times this n will give you guys that, and it's 1 log. So that means this times this with just the 1 log. So log base 8 of 2 times 4x squared, which is 8x squared is equal to 1. Now you guys have to be able to get used to your log rules. So remember guys, this log base b of a is equal to x. That's log form. And we have b to x is equal to a. That's log form. And this one's exponential form. So right now, this is in log form, right? Because there's a log. So log form, now we have to get it to exponential form. So we're going to have 8 to the first is equal to 8x squared. And we just solve for x, divide both by 8. 1 is equal to x squared, square root both sides. Plus or minus 1 is equal to x. And then make sure you plug in both 1 and negative 1 into the original to make sure it's positive, which it is. So this looks to be the correct. Different ways to solve this, but you guys are going to have to get used to practicing again your product rule. Okay, here's this one. Now let's look at quotient rule. I know this is quotient rule because there's a minus sign in between two logs. Minus sign in between two logs. So how does it transition to over here? Well, it's 1 log now, base b, of m divided by n. So you guys just have to compare and contrast. Our m value is this whole thing, and our n value is this whole thing. So log base 9 of x plus 6 divided by your n, which is just x. So now, use your guys' log form to exponential form. So 9 to the first power is equal to x plus 6 all over x. And now let's solve. Let's multiply both sides by x. These are going to cancel. So we are going to have 9 times x is 9x is equal to x plus 6. Now just solve for x. Subtract x from both sides. 8x equals 6. And divide both sides by 8. 6 over 8, you guys, simplifies to 3/4. Divide top and bottom by 2. Plug this in to make sure, and it looks to be good. So this is our answer. So that's basically the problems you guys will see on your homework tonight. Again, a good review before we get ready for our quiz/test on Friday. Okay? Good luck, you guys. Miss you all.